food poison, put options, and long work hours is the topic for this video on Aloha Friday, January 27th, 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, your good buddy Brent fell victim to food poisoning. It was the first time in 46 years I've ever experienced that. And if you don't mind me being honest with you, I would have been happy if I had never experienced it. I'm still happy even though I experienced it. It was not a fun experience, but it was intense. It was interesting. It wasn't fun though. And it helped to illustrate why selling cash secured put options on the stocks that you don't mind owning is such a wonderful thing. Now, not only did the food poisoning help illustrate that, but these long work hours of about 11 hours a day, they're also illustrating why selling cash secured put options on stocks that you don't mind owning is so wonderful. Put options, baby. Put options. Now, you may be aware that that I am your good buddy Brent right here, and that this is my little bitty website, ihavesuccess.com. The mission of ihavesuccess.com is to help you begin your trading journey by learning how to sell cash secured put options in a way that helps me to grow and improve in the process. Why do I want to grow and improve in the process? Because if you want to master something, teach it. So that's a quick indication. If you want to buy a course from somebody, it's not a 100% foolproof way, but a quick indication is check them out on YouTube. Are they providing any free content? If they are not providing any free content, but you see them advertising themselves on YouTube, think twice. Maybe consider buying a course from someone like Master Trader, Andy Tanner from the Cash Flow Academy, Phil's gang. You know, there's a list of people that give free content and sell stuff. But if you're not giving free content and you're selling content, maybe you want to think twice. Anyways, that's a topic for another video. This video, we're talking about the beauty of selling cash secured put options, right? Selling those cash secured put options. I was sick. I'm working long hours. Why is it so great? Well, I will get into that, but first let me tell you that over here at ihavesuccess.com, you can find a link in the description of this video below. You can download cash secured put stock selection guide. Get this, 3 stocks I sell cash secured put options on. They're not the only 3, but they're 3 that I've definitely been selling cash secured put options on for a long time. They're not suitable for you more than likely, and this information right here is not stock recommendations. It's to try to help you make wise decisions for yourself so you do not need to rely on the suspect opinions of other people. Now, I didn't make that up. I learned that from Michael Mentzer back in 1998 when I read his book, Heavy Duty 2, Mind and Body. And it was an eye-opening idea to me. Learn how to think for myself so I don't have to rely on the suspect opinions of other people. So, you know, even though I'm not teaching you bodybuilding stuff, kudos to Mike Mentzer for hooking me up with that knowledge, and I want to pass it on to you. I want to help hook you up in the financial arena of not necessarily making more money, which you probably will if you make wise decisions for yourself, but at the minimum to learn how to make suitable decisions for yourself so you do not have to depend on the suspect opinion of the Sam Bankman-Frieds of the world or all the different dimwits. They're not dim-witted though, right? They're not dim-witted, are they? Actually not dim-witted. The people that fall victim to them are dim-witted. I want to help out my fellow human beings here. Right? So people aren't falling victim to the narcissistic geniuses that really learn how to scam people really well. They can't create value, but they sure are a genius at parasitically sucking the life money from your pocket. And, you know, just to be crystal clear with you, I really do see these human beings as parasites. Fortunately, there are, you know, things that put in place that allows, can't deal with parasites the way that sometimes you can't deal with parasites. So nonetheless, what we can do is we can educate ourselves, my friends. Also, in the description of this video below, you'll see some playlists. There's 3 different playlists below there. The first one is trading options for beginners, with beginners written in all caps. That has 5 videos in it. That'll help you get some stock charts set up, something like, it won't even look like this, but there'll be some stock charts set up. Show you how to set up a monthly, a weekly, and daily stock chart, and kind of how to use those in combination. It's not the be-all, end-all of charting, but it is a good place to get started from, to start learning. And you know, it's better than nothing. It's way better than nothing. In fact, it's better than just one. It's better than 2. It's 3. It's a monthly, it's a weekly, and it's a daily, showing you how to put those kind of together to make some decisions. And then from there, give you different definitions on, you know, what selling a put option is, what's a naked put option, what's a cash secured put option, what's the difference, how to do the wheel strategy, covered calls, naked calls. And the 5th video on there shows you how to use the Yahoo Finance Screener tool for free in combination with these 2 downloads to start practicing in a paper trading account to try to make suitable decisions for yourself to select things. All right, whew, that was a lot of talking. Got that out of the way. So yeah, so selling cash secured put options is fantastic. Let's go with black here. You might have seen this before. Let's do it. Yeah, why not? Let's try it this way. Right, so this, you already know what this is. This is your financial statement. This is your income column. This is your expense column. This is your asset column. This is your liability column. And when you sell cash secured put options on stocks that you don't mind owning, there's one of 2 things can end up happening. One of 2 things. And the beauty of selling cash secured put options on stocks you don't mind owning when you have food poisoning, when you're working 11, 10, 12-hour shifts. The beauty is either outcome is absolutely fantastic. There's really no adjustment that needs to be made. Now, if you're selling credit spreads, if you're buying credit spreads, if you're selling under iron condors, if you're buying iron condors, if you're selling strangles, if you're buying straddles, if you're buying jade lizards, if you are well, I guess possibly if you are you know, calendar spreads, maybe it depends how you got to set up a little bit, but you know, there we can really start splitting some hairs. But just generally speaking, keeping it super basic, simple. You know what, my jiu-jitsu instructor used to tell me that black belts still win matches with arm bars, right? Fighters, professional fighters, they still use the jab, don't they? They still get that jab down, right? The 1-2, they still use those basic things. So this basic strategy, you sell a cash secured put option. What does that mean? So let's say there's a stock in it, and let's say it is a $15 stock. 15 smackers. And in this case, since I live in the United States, we're going to put it in USD. So it's 15 smackers USD. And let's say that I sell a cash secured put option on this stock that's trading around 15 bucks, and I sell this put option at strike price of 10 bucks, which means that I'm obligating myself to buy 100 shares of this stock, not at $15, at $10. So what is my legal obligation that I'm making here? You got it. It's 1,000 smackers priced in this currency. 1,000 used to be big ones. They're not so big anymore. 1,000 shrinkflated smackers here. And so that's the commitment, right? So basically, American style options, you could get assigned, which is these shares coming to you, right? One contract is responsible for 1,000 shares of stock. I'm making a commitment to buy 100 shares per contract, so 100 shares at $10. It's currently trading around 15. I'm going to get paid some money for this, and there's a time amount attached to it. So let's pretend the time amount is 30 days. Let me just abbreviate it with there you go. I'm very, very artistic. 30 days right there, right? So at any time that I sell this contract, I could be assigned. In theory, in American style options, as soon as I sell this contract, from day 1 to day 30, I could be assigned. I couldn't be assigned past day 30, right? At what happens on expiration of the end of day 30, make or breaks a lot of the stuff. If the stock is above $10, even by 1 cent, if the stock is $10.01 or higher, then there's a low chance I will be buying this stock at $10. If now at any time though during these days that the contract's open, I could be assigned these 100 shares. Now if the stock is trading at $15, it's still possible, even though it's not likely, it's not probable that I would be assigned to buy 100 shares at $10, because someone could just sell those shares into the market at 15. So that's a very low probability. Now if that happens, I just made a lot of money, because I'm going to buy these shares, I'm going to spend $1,000, and I'm going to turn around and I'm going to sell those shares for for $15 a share, and I'm going to make 500 bucks. Plus I made whatever premium. So that's probably not likely going to happen. Generally what's going to happen is upon expiration, upon day 30, if this stock is below $10, right, below $10, then I'll probably get assigned. I'll probably be buying it. If it's above $10, I probably won't, generally speaking, right? Now those are the two outcomes that can happen. Now let's see if I lose money in either one of those outcomes. So the first outcome, what happens? I take in premium. All right, I get paid some money. I get paid to wait, have my funds tie up. On this outcome, the stock price stays above 10 bucks. Let me do it this way. It stays above 10. All right. Above 10, the contract expires worthless. I keep the money. Did I lose money? Nope. So what happened in this one? How does it affect my income statement? In this scenario of my option contract expiring worthless, money went into my income column. I made money. There was no expense. I did not lose money. I did not expense money out. Money came in. Now in scenario number 2, the stock at the end of contract expiration date, the stock is below $10. So what happens then? I keep the initial premium. I keep that premium, and I buy 100 shares. And because your good buddy Brent sells cash secured put options on stocks that pay dividends, I buy 100 shares of an income producing paper asset. 100, I get 100 little assets. We better keep this family friendly and put an ET on the end of that, huh? So then, now what do we look? Now, how does this possible outcome affect my financial statement? Well, just like the same over here, this initial premium is going to go whoop right in here to the income column. Just like over here, income into the income column. But look at this. This right here, this asset, 100 assets. Wow, look at this. Transferred right into here, into my asset column. Now, let's say this is 100 shares. What's your favorite stock? Mr. or Mrs. whoever's listening, what's your favorite stock? 100 shares of YFS. Now, just to be overly clear, I have no idea if YFS is a real company. If it is a real company, I'm not recommending you buy it. I'm only using this as to try to be funny for your favorite stock. So now I have 100 shares of YFS in here. And as I mentioned, your good buddy Brent sells cash secured put options on income producing assets. So I had income from the sale of the option contract go into my income column. And then on this, right over on this one, expires worthless, above 10 bucks. On this one, does not expire worthless, expires below $10. I still keep that premium from selling the contract, and I bought these assets. They move over to my asset column, and they're going to end up paying a dividend, which brings more money into my income column. So let's answer the question. How do I lose money out of this? From this scenario, I don't lose money. The way that you would lose money is by not following stuff like this, the cash secured put stock selection guide, 3 stocks I sell cash secured put options on, going through the playlist for at the minimum trading options for beginners, including that 5th video of how to use the Yahoo Finance screener tool for free, so that way you can start paper trading to practice this, to make suitable decisions for yourself, so you do not have to rely on the suspect opinion of Sam Bankman-Fried, Bernie Madoff, John Corzine. Insert famous person, insert who you see on TV, insert anyone that you see selling you some internet ad on YouTube, including me. If they're not making free content, move on to somebody that does. So that's it. How do you lose? You'd lose by buying a company that's like Enron. You'd lose by buying a company that is like Blockbuster. You'd lose by buying a company that's like Sears. So there's ways that you could potentially lose money. So you got to paper trade. You gotta practice a little bit. You don't want to just know some definitions and jump into stuff. But why would you want to learn this? You know, why do you want to learn this? I had mentioned I've been working 10, 11 hours a day lately, and I'm training some people to do stuff for a company. And one guy that I've been training, he wants a little more. He's a young buck and 20-year-old gentleman, wants to be a businessman. So I'm giving him a little more because, right, find out what's important and add value to it. What's important to him is moving the direction that he wants to move. Just happens to be I'm kind of in that direction already, so I can, toss him some nuggets. So I'm telling my young coworker here. Technically, I'm his manager. So I'm telling this young gentleman here, when you know why, the how-to becomes easier. Now, I'm not saying it becomes easy, it just becomes easier. But there's no question on the why. When you know why, when you know it, you're not questioning it, you know it. It's a fact. You know it. The how-to, which is the question, becomes easier. When you don't know the why, this is hard. So here's the why. Right, here's the why, because this is what ends up happening. You're sick, you got food poisoning, doesn't matter what happens. You're working 11, 12 hours a day, doesn't matter what happens. You're confident that the companies that you're selling cash secured put options on are going to be around longer than you're alive. I'm confident in that. If it doesn't happen out of X amount of companies, like if I have one bad one out of X amount, which I honestly don't think I will, but if I do, I'm going to have enough cushion where it doesn't really matter. So you can do that too. Here's what's the thing to really understand is, how does this stuff affect your financial statement? Now we're getting pretty pretty messy here. So let's clear this up. Now let's look at a little bit of a different scenario. Let's look at we're still going to stick with, we got our financial statement, income, expense, liabilities, assets. Options sold, one, only okay. Now technically, maybe somebody wants to get out their technical thing. Maybe you could say there's a 1.5. You could say, well, you could break even. You could adjust. Yeah, that's true. That's true. There's a lot of coulds. There's a lot of shoulds. There's a lot of maybes. There's all this stuff. But let's just keep it super, super simple. Remember, food poisoning. How likely are you adjusting when you got food poisoning and you're working 11 hours a day? Likelihood is low. So let's just keep it super, super simple. And the normal option strategy. Now keep in mind, I'm not saying don't do these. I'm only illustrating why selling cash secured put options on stocks you don't mind owning is so powerful when you have a busy schedule. Like, these are really powerful when you can manage stuff. Iron condors, when you can manage stuff, super powerful. Credit spreads, debit spreads, calendar spreads, whatever, ratio spreads, whatever, all of it. It's all good. I like it all. I want to be the master of all of it. But why do I spend the time teaching this one? Because I just showed you. I showed you why. Now here's the opposite. Out of pretty much all the other strategies you can do, you got one scenario, you make money. Another scenario, you lose money. Depending on what happens at contract expiration, you make money or you lose money. So how does this one affect your financial statement? I think you already know the answer to this. With this one, money flows into your income column. That's nice, right? You want to see your income column going up? I think so. Now, with this one, money does not flow into your income column. In fact, money flows out your expense column. Right? It flows out. Where does it come from? From the expense column. It comes from the income column. Bloop, it moves over here, and then bloop, it goes here. Bye-bye. Over here. Bloop, flies away off the screen into somebody else's pocket. You know, and since I'm taking the time to tell you this, my arms really aren't that long. And my head's probably not really in that proportion. And to be honest with you, my eyes aren't red and my skin isn't really this color. So I hope you forgive me for that. But I hope that your money flows into, and I don't really even have a pocket here. let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. Let's put it into my pocket right here. Boop. Let's put it into that little pocket. Right? Or let's say here's my money bag. That's my money bag. Have your money flow right in here. Boop, right into Brent's money bag here. That's why Brent has a big smile. And Brent's tongue's hanging out because I'm going to take your money, I'm going to buy food. And so, which one you like? If you have a really busy life, like your good buddy Brent had food poisoning, right? Had the poison right there. P-O for poison. Long work hours. W-O for work. No time to adjust. No energy to adjust. Take what comes at option expiration date. Now I do have some contracts open that need to be adjusted, and I get a little more stressed over those. I'm like, oh man, I gotta watch Apple. I gotta watch Apple. Gotta see what's going on with Apple. But those stocks that I have cash secured put options, I don't care. And you know what? Not caring is a pretty darn good place to be. It depends on what it is, obviously. But when it's like when you're trading in the stock market and you got yourself set up, so no matter what happens, scenario 1, you win. Scenario 2, you win. All right, so this is one way. This is one way to trade. Now here's another way to trade. Scenario 1, you win. Scenario 2, you lose. Which one do you prefer? Which one, if you could only pick one strategy, which strategy would you prefer? Right? There's a little more to it though. What's your lifestyle like? If you have inherited the family farm, which just happened to have an extra $10 million on it, and you can throw in $1 million in your trading account, or $500,000, or whatever that number is, but you're starting with a trading account of I don't know, somewhere between 5 to 20 grand. Like, I don't know your situation, right? But how valuable is this money to you? If you're starting in a scenario where, like, even if you lose $500,000, it doesn't affect you. I have been in positions in my life where if I lose 5 grand, it's not good. If I lose 10 grand, it's not good. In fact, I'm in a position in my life now where if I lose 1 penny, I don't like that. You know, I don't want to lose any money. But I get it, you know, trading, sometimes you got to take losses. But again, it goes back to your trading style. Now, if you don't have a lot of time and you're a little bit limited on funds, then this is a really good thing. Now people are going to say, oh, you know, there's not good ROI on that. That takes too long to make money. Wah, wah, wah. You can listen to them if you want, because honestly, it's your money. You're gonna have to, you look your kids in the face, and you know, you deal with that. You can listen to them if you want. Or this is what you can do. You can learn how to do both, right? You can. This is a good way to start, though. This is a good way to start, because when you're starting, doesn't it feel good to win, right? Either way, you win. You're winning on either side. Does this feel good when you're starting? Honey, I lost some money this week. Honey, I had money go out the expense column this week. Honey, I had some more expenses. It's great, honey. I'm making mistakes. I'm learning left and right. This is a more forgiving strategy to learn on. So, I think you guys got it. I'm hoping you guys got it. All right, that's the power there. I gotta change that around. Oh, reconnecting. This thing was disconnected. Let's take a quick. Oh, no, that's not it. Let's look at the interest rates. How the interest rates close out. Oh, reconnecting. You know what? Today's Friday. I'm gonna be making a weekly chart review video today or tomorrow, something like that. I think that's it. We're gonna call it a wrap. So I hope you learn. Hope you learn whether you get. Doesn't matter if you get food poisoning. You get some new scary thing. You get diarrhea. You got a toothache. Whatever. You work long hours. You go into the shopping center. I don't care what it is. If you want to have less monitoring of trades and you want to win it, whatever outcome, you should consider learning how to do this. Right? That's it. And the final thing I'm going to leave you with is, what are the requirements for this? Requirement number 1. And let me make this big and bold so you can see it. You got to have a bank account. This is requirement number 1. You need some way to have money online. If you ain't got one bank account, brother, you ain't doing this. You need yourself a bank account, or something that's simulating a bank account. Basically need a bank account. Number 2, you need yourself an internet connection. Internet. You need that. Now, it doesn't have to be your own. I mean, technically, you could be basically homeless and still doing this, as long as you got bank account, internet, and obviously some, sort of device. D for device, so you don't have to suffer through me doing that long thing, right? You got an internet connection that connects your bank account to your device, which has a brokerage account on it. And this one you don't actually need, but I would say, like, if you're doing this, then if you spend money at the minimum of once a year, right? It's not that much. A lot of people spend money. There's 365 days in a year. There's people that spend money. Can you believe this? There's some people that spend money more than 365 times in a year. I mean, they are literally spending money more than once a day. I'm not kidding you. I know you disbelieve that. It's hard to believe that some people spend money that frequently. But I'll tell you what, it's true. So at the minimum, if you're spending money at least once a year, you got a bank account, internet connection, and you spend money at least once a year, you have no legitimate reason not to be doing this. Well, I guess I just thought of one. If you tell me, Brett, I want to depend on the suspect opinion of other people. I don't want to think independently. Oh, then you know what? This channel's not for you. So with that, my friends, you guys have a fantastic